Всем привет, с вами Кирилл Решетов, и мы продолжаем прохождение Noire. Давайте сразу же без лишних слов начнем. Я расскажу вам кое о чем после заставки.
We will look into it. Yes, I'm aware that it's an election year. Keep a hold of your hat, Counselor. Now is not the time to lose your nerve. It would appear that someone has hocked a rose gold wedding ring and matching engagement ring. Sound familiar?
Deirdre Muller.
Press the pawnbroker and see what you can find out. The address is 348 South Main Street. The Muller case goes before the grand jury next week, and the DA does not want any egg on his face. Then get out to the railroad depot on Santa Fe Avenue. We have another poor unfortunate found this morning beside a railroad line. 40-year-old white woman.
Right, Skipper.
Итак, секунду, я проверю настройки звука. Здесь нельзя это сделать. Я имею в виду объемность. Хотя она, по идее, уже
Another body
включена.
and Deirdre Muller's ring. The Emperor may soon have to come to terms with the fact that he's wearing no clothes.
What exactly did you get that book of riddles shoved up your ass, Phelps? Is that what your old man paid college tuition for?
You think those Vice boys get any on the side?
Кстати, нет никаких второстепенных заданий, а то я в той серии не смотрел. А они иногда есть, даже если по рации нет вызова.
You've got to admit, this is looking odd.
Anyone could pawn a ring.
But if you take it along with all of the other indicators...
Cole, Hugo Muller was identified by the school's groundkeeper. He's our guy.
Witnesses have fingered the wrong guy before.
He ran, for God's sakes.
And he always maintained he was set up.
Any Central Unit, 459 suspects to be taken into custody at the trolley station on Lucas Avenue. Stand by for further.
Далековато. Ну ладно, делать нечего, поехали. Я все второстепенные задания выполняю. Вот так вот, значит, пока едем, я расскажу. Пришли мне новые очки. Двойная сферика. Куда я нашел очки, если кто не знал. Вот, очень непривычно, конечно. Наверное, долго придется привыкать. Но лучше они старых или хуже, я не могу прям сказать на 100%. Пока так, глаз не привык. Здорово, сейчас мы проскочили. О, классно, сейчас песня по радио. При игровом, конечно же, радио. Я скачивал прям.
Any Central Unit, 459 suspects to be taken into custody at the trolley station on Lucas Avenue. Stand by for further.
This is Car 11 King. Go ahead with the further.
11 King, 2459 suspects sighted in the vicinity of the trolley station on Lucas Avenue between Court and Colton.
You should have iced those folks. You leave no witnesses, you stay out of the
I'm not
post.
riding all the way to Santa Ana and then on to Cincinnati with you pissing in my
But I'm
ear.
tired of always being on the lam.
I don't have a choice. A stick-up charge is still a stick-up charge, and I ain't going back inside.
You're both coming with me. Don't do anything stupid.
Классный отрод, кстати.
Don't go to sleep on me. Get me back in close.
Блин, как...
Hit him. Clean this asshole off the road. I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck.
Скоростные.
Hit him. Clean this asshole off the road. Phelps, you gotta get me closer.
Все, отъездились.
What's with all the firecrackers?
Эй! Чё не активируется скрипт?
Give it up! LAPD! Car 11K calling KGPL. Code 4 at the Lucas Avenue trolley station. The 459 suspects are in custody.
Roger, 11K. All units, code 4 on the 459 suspects at the Lucas Avenue trolley station.
Ну что, далековато ехать? Да, в принципе, не очень, наверное, можно и так доехать без использования напарника. И хочу сказать, что увеличенной зоны четкости я не увидел. А может, это, конечно, изменит расстояние, но между зрачками.
Go right through here.
Так, ага, здесь мы не проедем. Там мы тоже не проедем, значит, нам вправо. Вправо и на первом повороте налево. Так, да, по 5-й улице. И вот здесь вот точку, чтобы налево повернуть.
KGPL to all units. Citizen reports man with a gun. Union and Rockwood Street. Union and...
Опять тащиться в такую даль? Ладно.
Rockwood Street. Unit to handle code 2. Identify.
Ну ладно, давайте туда по маркеру.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Надеюсь, там второстепенное задание из-за этого не пропадет. Ну и тогда в ломбард уже поедем с помощью напарника.
Isn't that the cop who won a medal in solving all the cases?
KTI Radio reminds you, make sure you sign up. Applications available at your local post office. This is KTI, Los Angeles.
Интересно, что значит эта вот разметка, которая у меня уже была.
KGPL to all units. Citizen reports man with a gun. Union and Rockwood Street. Union and Rockwood Street. Unit to handle code 2. Identify.
11K, go ahead.
11 King. Citizen reports man with a gun at the intersection of Union Avenue and Rockwood Street. 11 King. Code 2.
Damn it! I said cough it up! I'm not gonna say it again. That's it, old man. I've had enough of your gibberish.
Give it up! LAPD!
Hey!
По идее, этого мужика как-то можно остановить, но как? А, может, разве что вот так перепрыгнуть.
You can still catch him.
There he is. See him?
There he is, officer.
What's with all the firecrackers?
А, ладно, застрелим.
This place is going to hell in a handbasket. What's happening?
Reinforcements are on the way. Cease and desist. Find some cover.
Ну, поймать не получилось. Ну ладно, видимо.
You're behind the wheel.
Внимание, деньги, чего-то там. Ну, пошли.
How can I help you boys?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. You have a rose gold wedding and engagement ring?
David Bremner. Am I gonna get something for this pledge? Gave that bum money, now you guys are gonna leave me short.
How much did you give him?
$50?
Try another number.
20?
Try 10. Feel lucky you're getting it.
I have the rings right here.
What's this mark here?
Maker's mark. Usually traceable. That one came from Hartfield's Jewelry down on Broadway.
Мы уже в нем были. В конце патрульного отдела, если кто не помнит.
Does this mark mean anything?
Hallmark. Gives you an idea of the quality.
What have you got on the guy who brought these in?
Goes by the name of Percy B. Shelley. Gave an address. 15 Poland Street, London, Tulare County.
Can you give us a description of the man who pawned these rings?
Not sure. Medium height, medium build. Dark hair, I think. Sorry. He just had one of those forgettable faces.
We'll be in touch, Mr. Bremner.
Но тогда же не было фотороботов. Поэтому, понятное дело, что... Так. Ну и понятное дело, что никак не получится как бы распечатать его.
We have a problem.
We could have the local troopers check out the Tulare County address.
The address is bogus. Purpose having fun with us. The guy who's been sending the Dahlia letters is also the guy who pawned these rings.
How do you figure that one?
Percy Bysshe Shelley wrote the poem that came with the Dahlia letter. If the Dahlia letters are genuine, then the man who killed Elizabeth Short may have also killed Deirdre Mullen.
And how do we prove that, Phelps? Skipper ain't gonna like this one bit.
We're gonna have to rely on this guy tripping up on his own vanity.
Вот здесь перекресток такой, что и не поймешь, куда ехать. Ага, поймешь, на 3-ю улицу. 3-я улица сюда. Да. А сейчас... Ага, все правильно, прямо. И вправо там. Вдруг уничтожена едете, куда нет. Просто регулируют. Там уже, наверное, физическая братья собралась.
You boys ready? Follow me.
We should keep this development with the rings under our hat until we speak with the captain.
We're all on the same team, Rusty.
Chain of command, Phelps. The skipper will decide who needs to know. Got it?
I get it, Rusty. I just don't like it. Hard, isn't it?
Yeah. I look after all the rail depots.
What have you got?
The Negro, Nelson Gaines, called it in. I came down here to make sure him and the other guy, Jameson, stuck around.
Jameson found the body?
Something like that. Guy makes me sick.
We'll talk to the coroner. Keep an eye on both of them. What have we got here?
White female, approximately 40 years of age, lipstick smudges on the face, but no writing, at least nothing legible. A blunt force trauma to the temple, nose, and eye regions. Ligature marks point to the probable cause of death being strangulation.
Any idea of the time of death?
From her temperature, after midnight would be my guess.
Хорошо, давайте вот осмотрим вот это.
Blood splatter on the carriage. She must have been struck while standing up.
Smell?
Very good. There is the usual evacuation smell, but it appears she's been living rough for quite some time.
Very strong smell of alcohol.
Well, the autopsy will tell, but I would assume that she was inebriated.
Хорошо.
Another missing ring.
Certainly seems I've been swabbing a lot of bare fingers recently.
Can you be more exact about the time of death?
No later than 2 a.m. The state the body was in, a 1 or 2 hour window is the best I can do.
Хорошо.
Good morning, ladies.
Stay out of my way and I will stay out of yours. Everybody's happy.
What are you thinking, Ray?
The city keeps tossing us dead bodies. We're just running to catch up.
Да-да. Ну, вы прочтете это сами.
Someone was trying to get her to come home.
Хорошо.
We could go over to the lot and see what they know about her.
That's going to be difficult, Cole. Keystone Studio lot closed back in 41.
Maybe someone at Mensch's will remember her. This is a chit for personal items, not booze. It's an angle worth investigating.
Хорошо.
Detective Phelps and Galloway, homicide. Can you tell me exactly what happened?
We were shutting cars over to the main line when I saw this man here lying on top of this woman. The woman wasn't moving and seemed to be in a bad way.
What time was this?
About 7:30 this morning, sir.
Thanks for your help. Have you given Patrolman Hart your details?
I have, sir.
Thank you. You can go now.
Хорошо.
Detective Phelps, LAPD homicide.
John Ferdinand Jameson.
We need you to answer some questions, John.
If you don't mind, I prefer Ferdinand.
Don't push your luck, knucklehead.
What were you doing to the body, Ferdinand?
Are you sure you won't be upset?
Try me, Ferdinand.
I was kissing her. It's not against the law.
Shut up.
There's no
Take
law
your
against
beating
it.
like a man.
Turn out your pockets, Ferdinand. Classic Carmine. Is this yours, Ferdinand?
No. I found it near her purse. I thought she could use some lipstick.
Rusty, stop! Don't hit him. You went through her purse?
It wasn't like she needed it. I took a look.
Did you take any money?
Wasn't any to take. I found her lipstick and her matchbook over on the mat. Not much else.
You found the body?
Yes, I did. I work here. I was coming off shift and headed home.
Why didn't you report the body, Jameson? Do you know how this is going to look to a jury?
A jury? What gives? I could tell that she was dead. I came through here about midnight last night. She wasn't here then.
Let me belt him again.
You're under arrest, Jameson. We'll see how this plays out. Until then, you can think a little on how you'd like to be treated if you were found dead.
I'm telling you, it's not illegal. Me and some friends of mine...
Clyde, you get this sack of shit into a cell. I'll deal with him later.
Sure, Rusty.
Хорошо. А он, кстати, его увезли.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need an address on Levine's Liquor. Closest store to the Santa Fe Avenue rail yard, if possible.
Just a moment, Detective. Closest store would be the one at 939 South Hope Street.
Thanks for your help.
Так. Ну давайте сначала винный магазин. Эй, взять бы вот эту машину. Ну ладно, поедем на нашей.
Read that those goddamn Chinese want to sell the relief food that we're sending them?
Yeah, I read about that.
These people are starving. They can't do that.
I want to sell the food to fund the...
Сейчас, секунду, мы прервем их.
Civil war against the communists.
Really? Guess that's okay then.
Armies can't fight without food. Spend all your money on weapons, but you still have to have the will to fight. Fortunately, the Reds will win in China.
Watch your mouth. You know what you're saying?
The people of this country overthrew a king. You think the Chinese will balk at an emperor if they are starving?
Нет, давайте все-таки доедем не сами.
You know the way. You can drive.
Solved the big case and got promoted?
Потому что слишком далеко ехать. Да и второстепенных заданий вроде бы уже не будет.
What can I do for you?
LAPD, Phelps and Galloway. We're making inquiries into the murder of Evelyn Summers.
Evelyn? She's dead?
You knew Evelyn Summers, Mr.
Robbins. Yes, I knew Evelyn. I was a good friend of her ex-husband. She kept some of her stuff here.
Can you show us, please?
Sure. Come this way.
Got some fine stock here, Mr. Robbins. You know, you let us take some for the road, this case might get solved a lot quicker.
He's joking, Mr. Robbins. Rawlings Bowling Alley. Maybe Evelyn did something other than drink in her spare time.
Rawlings. I know that place. Corner of 9th and Grand. A lot of cops bowl there on Tuesday nights.
I'm guessing Evelyn hadn't held down a job for quite some time before she was killed.
When exactly did Evelyn work in the pictures?
A few years ago. She worked in legal copyrights for music.
She wasn't always such a loner. Evelyn was reading Aristotle?
Evelyn wasn't stupid. The only stupid thing about her was her need to drink.
And she was borrowing books from Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Хорошо, здесь все.
We're trying to account for Evelyn's movements yesterday.
She came by in the morning.
A social visit? To pick up some of her things?
She had a couple of bucks and bought a quart of rye.
Any idea where the money came from?
She didn't mention it. But she did say the booze was a present for a boy. She said they had been fighting and she had to make it up to him.
Were you and Evelyn close, Mr. Robbins?
Not many people will be sad she's gone. I'll be one of the few.
We got the impression that Evelyn had been sleeping rough of late.
It became difficult for me to have her staying here. Her mother was trying to get her back on the straight and narrow. She's old now. And to be honest, you have to have a good reason to want to get back on.
Do you know a friend of Evelyn's by the name of McCaffrey?
Not personally.
We're struggling for leads, Robbins. Did she know McCaffrey?
She idolized him. From what I gather, the feeling was far from mutual. He seems to peddle a revolutionary stance, fixing the ills of society. You could see how it would appeal to down-and-outs like Evelyn.
Thanks for your help, Mr. Robbins.
No problem. Hey, I'd like to make arrangements for the funeral. You think I could get in touch with Evelyn's mother?
Put in a call to the watch commander at Central Station, Mr. Robbins. He'll be trying to reach the next of kin.
Thanks. Get the guy, huh? Evelyn never hurt anybody.
Хорошо. Так, где бар? Недалеко совсем. Я раньше никогда не обращал внимания на то, что вроде бы вывески не повторяются в городе. Или просто мне так кажется.
Drink, fellas.
Phelps, Galloway, homicide. We need to ask you some questions concerning Evelyn Summers.
I'm Walter Mensch. Evelyn Summers, what is it now?
You knew Evelyn?
As well as I wanted to know Evelyn. She's a pain in the ass, always coming in here, cadging drinks, never had any money. She was in just a couple of nights ago.
Did she ever tell you where she was staying?
I don't know. I think she was living rough. She had that kind of stunk about her.
Who did she drink with?
A bunch of these guys. Ask around.
You a friend of Evelyn Summers?
Who's asking?
Very cute. You know who's asking.
I know my rights.
You don't have any. Answer the question.
Evelyn mooches for drinks. I don't have any time for that.
Was that so hard?
Keep writing me, copper. One more time, pal, and I'll break your fucking jaw.
What's your name?
Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Mind if I ask you some questions, Mr. McCaffrey?
I'm just a starving writer, detective. What do you want to ask about?
Evelyn Summers, and why she was found beaten and strangled in the rail depot on Santa Fe.
Okay. I see your point.
How well did you know her?
I can't say that I knew her. It was more like I was aware of her.
Do you have a criminal record, Mr. McCaffrey?
Nothing serious. I've had a few skirmishes.
Do you want to save me some time, or do you want me to look up your file?
Industrial disputes, strikes, workers' rights, that kind of thing.
A regular fifth columnist. Nice to meet you, comrade.
You say you barely knew Evelyn?
Yes, that is correct.
You're lying, McCaffrey. You looked down your nose at Evelyn, but you knew her, and you have some idea of what happened.
I hope you're holding aces. I'm telling you again, I barely knew the woman.
Как же книга?
Why would you lend her your book on metaphysics if you only knew her in passing? It was more than that. A Renaissance man like yourself, lending his books to his acolytes.
She hounded me about that goddamn book, and then she lifts it from my apartment and lies to my face that she didn't take it, as if she could even comprehend any of it. I saw her go into a hotel with Tiernan last night. They had booze in a paper bag. He's your man.
Thank you for the information, Mr. McCaffrey.
Ну все, пошли. Тут вообще совсем недалеко.
Car 11K, Car 11 King, KGPL.
11 King.
A message from Captain Donnelly. Return to Central, code 2.
11 King, en route.
Ну, потом мы вернемся в центральное отделение. Поехали в боулинг.
Let's not keep the man waiting, Phelps.
Да будем мы его заставлять ждать. Что я буду? Ехать за 300 километров, что ли? Надо было там свернуть, наверное. Да и из второго ряда куда поворачиваешь, а? Совсем обнаглели водители, да?
Hello, Rusty. Two on your usual lane?
I'm Detective Phelps. Homicide.
You must be new. What's your shoe size?
We're conducting an investigation, ma'am.
Do you know the name Evelyn Summers?
Sounds like I should. Oh, maybe it could be Jimmy's friend.
Jimmy?
James Tiernan. He's a pin setter. One day he introduced me to a lady after work. It stuck in my mind because she was much older, too old for him.
Where can we find Jimmy, Florence?
He'll be hopping around the lanes toward the back.
Thanks, ma'am. Let's go get him.
I won.
I love these waitresses. Everyone's a dog.
Tiernan! LAPD! There!
What are you waiting for? Get after him!
We might go faster if we weren't carrying the extra weight. These are flashy cars to be parked outside a bowling alley.
The lanes attract a fast-living individual with money to burn, Carl.
Or a middle-aged individual with the need to feel virile.
Keep it steady and I'll try to bust his tires! Hit him! Clean this asshole off the road!
Another runner. Well, at least we've got a suspect.
Why do they always run? I'm sure we've got the wrong person in more than one of these homicides, but they always seem to lam it.
You know, your theories are not airtight by any means, folks.
Hit it!
And that is the end of that. It's about fucking time.
If this isn't the killer, we can at least get him for reckless endangerment.
That's unless he runs into a wall and saves us all the trouble.
Put your hands in the air!
И еще один арестованный. А вот это баг. Вы видали баг? Машина стояла прям там. Я не дал залезть. Ну надо же. Ну что, теперь только центральное отделение. А, ну повези нас.
Can you drive to this one?
Ничего вроде нету по преступлениям-то. Да, ничего нет.
The captain is downstairs with Ray Pinker and Carruthers.
Хорошо, а сюда мы можем зайти? Можем. А где привезенный? Ага, вон один привезенный. А этих я не вижу.
If olive oil comes from olives, where does baby oil come from?
I know it seems weird at first, but over time...
Надо же. Это перевели. Я думал, такое не переведут локализаторы. Кто туда идет. А мы люди
Skeleton goes into a bar and orders a beer and a mop.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
What's this about, Captain?
Ray and Mal have some concerns over the Henry and Muller cases, which I don't want aired outside of this room.
The evidence is solid, Captain.
I agree, Rusty. It's just that corpses keep piling up.
Copycats.
I've been banging the same drum. But the notes and the lipstick messages.
Evelyn Summers, Cartel Classic Carmine. Each woman, same brand, same color.
Teresa Terrelson didn't have a lipstick message.
Technically, you're right, Rusty. She didn't have any lipstick. But she did have a message. We found it beneath her dress, scraped with a sharp stick.
What did it say?
You sure you want to know?
Ray?
As far as we can be sure, it said cunt BD.
That's one way of looking at it.
Looking at what?
Cunt is all about access, Phelps. You're married, so yours is mortgaged. Some of us like to pay by installments. This guy doesn't like to pay at all.
Why are you so angry, Mal?
Because I just had to fire one of my assistants. He was a friend of Jameson's. God knows what he might have been up to.
Captain, we have good leads in the Summers case, but it's up to you to decide how we proceed.
Keep this under your hat for now. And to follow up on Evelyn Summers, I want daily reports.
Goddamn captain's thinking.
We got our orders. Back to the Summers case. Get an address for McCaffrey. He'll have blown the bar. I'll meet you outside.
Хорошо.
Isn't he the cop they've been talking about on the radio? Want another commendation?
Going to
Так,
church
ну
doesn't make
здесь
you
я
a
не
Christian
буду.
any more than staying in the
Может,
garage
какие
makes you a car.
дежурному позвонить, а можно и здесь. А, хотя нет, здесь не деньги надо платить. А я, значит, позвоню отсюда.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address for a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Grosvenor McCaffrey. Apartment 6, 126 Yale Street, between Ord and Alpine.
Thanks, ma'am.
Hey, take it on the heel and toe. I'm busy.
Ладно. Где квартира? Квартира где? Никак далеко, ничего себе. А, не, мы выше. Нормально, нормально. Надо ее отметить. Поехали туда.
The main reason Santa's so jolly is because he knows where all the bad girls live.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
Let me pose a question.
Depends. What you got to do with it?
Morals. Would it bother you to put the wrong person away?
Depends.
On what?
On whether anyone except the poor son of a bitch in the slammer ever found out.
Слышите, как мы переход? Там что Вообще я не знаю, случаются ли здесь рандомные события или нет. Потому что один раз я ехал, видел, как полицейские выписывают штраф автомобилистам. Проехали. Сворачиваемся.
McCaffrey is in apartment 6.
Хорошо.
Doesn't look like anybody's home.
Terrible shame. Means there's nobody to let us in. You want to be honest, Phelps?
Don't think this is anything.
А вот и вторая часть письма.
Torn from the letter we found beside the body. At the very least, I'd say it ties McCaffrey to the scene. He said he was at home. He said he didn't know her. And we have the book.
Let's see Carruthers argue his way out of this one.
Is that you, Grosvenor? Who are you guys? What are you doing in here?
We're from the LAPD, ma'am. Do you know where we might find McCaffrey?
I'm his neighbor. Is he in trouble?
Look, lady, we need to find him, and in a hurry. Are you going to give me trouble?
He has a pigeon coop up on the roof. He spends his mornings up there when he's been drinking.
How do we get up there?
Down the hall and up the stairs.
Drunk and in command of a carrier pigeon. Surely we can write him up for that. A citation, at least.
Ну, поехали.
Isn't he the cop that won the medal and is solving all the cases?
McCaffrey! Running on a hangover, McCaffrey? Sit down and we'll talk.
That son of a bitch. I'll go get our wheels.
Один раз мне, кстати, удалось пинуть подозреваемого. Но лишь один раз. Я не помню кого.
There he is, officer!
You a runner, McCaffrey? Stay and fight the good fight.
Бежишь, Майк? Останься и хорошо поделись, типа.
Give it up, LAPD!
We need to get downtown and wrap this thing up. It's got to be McCaffrey. Unless Tiernan set him up. You don't think that asshole Jameson could have done it, do you? Whoever did it. So it's that Dahlia fuck.
How do you know that McCaffrey didn't do the Dahlia?
We have a list of over 200 suspects. His name was never on it.
If you think the list is exhaustive, Rusty, who am I to argue?
Listen, let's just work the case at hand, shall we? Then we can sit down and put all the puzzle pieces together at a later date.
I'll hold you to that.
Сейчас прибудем в отделение полиции.
You sure you can make it stick with one of these suspects, gentlemen?
It's either McCaffrey or Tiernan, sir. I think Jameson is an aberration.
All right. I'll deal with that degraded lunatic myself. He's got some fearful retribution coming. Tiernan is in one, McCaffrey is in two. I want a confession from one of them. Don't fail me, young fellas.
Yeah, the bum took a swipe at me. Put him down with my sap.
Another time, huh?
Oh, hard.
Why did you run, Tiernan?
I was the last one to see Evelyn that night. I knew you would think it was me.
Can you describe your relationship with Evelyn?
I barely knew Evelyn.
А вот тут придется использовать интуицию. Ложь, значит, да?
Keep lying to me and I'll have you charged and in front of a grand jury before your feet touch the ground.
How can you possibly prove Evelyn and I were more than friends?
А действительно, как? Ну, не бродяжничеством, не пропавшим кольцом, не разорванным письмом, не губной помадой. Покупка алкоголя относится вроде бы к другому вопросу. Давайте вот это.
McCaffrey gave you up, Tiernan. He says he saw you go into your hotel with Evelyn.
I met Evelyn at the public library. We would read for a while and then go for a drink. Last night we went back to my hotel room and had some more to drink. I must have passed out. I woke up and she was gone.
What time was this?
Around midnight, maybe later.
And there's no one who can confirm this?
No, there isn't. I knew you wouldn't believe me.
Aristotle's Metaphysics, the book that belonged to McCaffrey.
McCaffrey saw her looking at it once and laughed in her face.
And you're saying Evelyn stole it?
She wanted something of his.
Здесь вроде бы подозрение, о чем мы ему скажем.
We either hang this on you or McCaffrey. You better give us something.
Well, McCaffrey's been in trouble with the law before. I mean, he always makes out it was some kind of labor dispute, but, you know, I'm not so sure.
You and Evelyn were drinking together last night, and she had no other place to stay.
I don't know what happened last night. I don't remember.
You're lying, Tiernan. You'd been fighting with her. You fought, and
I'm not lying! She got up and left, that was it!
А как же покупка алкоголя?
She left, but she came back. She bought you a quart of whiskey to make it up to you. She told the liquor store owner. You're in deep trouble, buddy.
She said she loved me. She wanted to care for me. But she would never stop talking about McCaffrey. McCaffrey was a writer, and McCaffrey was a hero. McCaffrey cared for the little guy.
Did you kill her, Tiernan?
I might as well have. I kicked her out. She had nowhere to go.
Do you own a car, Tiernan?
No, I don't.
Have access to a lug wrench?
We use a lot of them to clear jams in the pin setting machines.
Давайте еще раз интуицию. По идее, тут сомнений, наверное.
Coroner's report says that Evelyn was killed with a wrench. I think you did it and then planted the evidence at McCaffrey's apartment for us to find.
We went to his apartment. McCaffrey was up on the roof. Evelyn stole the book. McCaffrey went crazy when he found out. He said he would put her out of her misery. He can be very cruel.
Ну, закончить допрос пока что.
Evelyn was missing a ring from her right hand.
That's strange. She always wore it. Big black circular disc with a white E in the middle. It was made from an old typewriter key. present from the prop department at her old movie studio.
We're going to talk to McCaffrey. You need to think about what you've told us, Tiernan. You're not in the clear.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
Ну, пойдем поговорим.
You ready to answer some questions?
You think I have all the answers?
People who run from the police usually have something to hide.
Touché, detective. Let's see where this takes us.
Evelyn died sometime around midnight. Remind me, where were you?
I was at home, writing. I'm working on a manuscript.
You're lying, McCaffrey. You were out at the rail yard.
And what do you have that proves I was there?
Разорванным письмом. Где оно? Кольцо где?
How about half of Augusta Summers' last correspondence with her daughter?
What are you talking about?
After you were done beating Evelyn, you searched her and found her mother's letter. That old lady's anguish amused you.
I know nothing about a letter or Evelyn's goddamn mother.
So what was it doing on your writing desk?
I don't know, but if I didn't put it there, somebody else did. Try exercising your powers of deduction on that.
We found the lug wrench that Evelyn was battered with in your apartment, and the note from her mother, and your blood-stained clothing. We have you cold, McCaffrey.
You think if I could be bothered to murder Evelyn Summers, I would be stupid enough to leave the evidence in my apartment?
I don't believe you, Grosvenor. The evidence says that you killed her.
You can prove that I wanted to kill Evelyn?
Конечно. Даже если меня не стыдно.
Tiernan is prepared to testify that you threatened Evelyn's life in his presence.
Self-preservation. That's understandable. Okay, I'll level with you. Tiernan killed Evelyn. He came to me for help. I listened to him, and he explained why he did it.
Tiernan went to you for help. You expect me to buy that?
That's how it went down. I told him he made a terrible mistake, but he would be throwing his life away if he went to the cops. I took his things and told him I would dispose of them.
But you didn't.
Speak to Tiernan. He'll give it up.
Пойдем поговорим.
Hey, fuck you, asshole!
Как мы здорово прошли через дверь.
You spoken to McCaffrey? I can go? It's all been cleared up?
Not quite. We have one more question we need to ask, James. Then I think we will be done.
Sure. Go ahead.
So Evelyn passed out, and you walked out. What happened next?
I woke up in the morning, very hungover. I thought Evelyn would have come back.
I know you're lying, James. You went out looking for her. Tell me what really happened.
I don't know what you're talking about. How can you say I wasn't in that hotel room?
С того, что МcCaffrey сказал.
You wound up at McCaffrey's. You were still incredibly drunk. You passed out on his floor. It's time to tell me what really happened.
McCaffrey woke me up the next morning, and he showed me the lug wrench and the letter and the box, and he said I came in with him last night. He said that I killed Evelyn, and that it was all over the radio, and that he would protect me. And I don't know, detective, for the life of me, I can't remember a goddamn thing. And I was angry with her. Really angry. I could have done it. Was it me?
Wait here.
Пойдем позвоним.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need the jacket on a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Just a moment, Detective. McCaffrey was formerly under surveillance by the Red Squad. Convictions for petty theft. Dishonorable discharge from the Army during training at Syracuse. Assault on a local woman. Says he almost beat the woman to death.
Thanks.
Ну, говорим с Маккайфри.
You were in the war?
Yes, I was. Seeing the things that I saw, it changes a man. I came back here determined to change things. All I wanted was a pen and an opportunity to speak out.
You told us before that you had only minor run-ins with the police. You didn't mention petty theft.
I've never been in trouble for violence. That's the salient point here, isn't it?
You're lying, McCaffrey. You have a history of violence towards women.
How do you turn a couple parking tickets and a petty theft misdemeanor into an assault charge?
We know all about you and your dishonorable discharge, beating some poor woman near to death in Syracuse. You've never been in combat, McCaffrey. Your whole life is a fraud.
She was a goddamn peasant whore! She tried to steal from my wallet. I could have fought for this country. I could have...
You beat her because she stole from you. Because she tried to outsmart you.
The ignorant audacity of the bitch. What is a man supposed to do? Sit there and take it? How is a man supposed to call himself a man?
And Evelyn Summers, a poor, drunken nobody, stole your book.
And she got what was coming to her.
Но предъявляем обвинение ему.
Grosvenor McCaffrey, I'm charging you with the murder of Evelyn Summers. She was a sad lady who never hurt anyone except herself. I hope God finds a way to forgive you.
Congratulations, boys, you bagged the fine catch. Another red to boot. Grand. Now, I want you to put this business about a repeat offender out of your mind. This McCaffrey creature shows no remorse, and neither will the grand jury. You would have to walk a long mile to find a better candidate for an unmarked plot in a prison graveyard.
Так, задан вопрос правильно, и улики все найдены. Сейчас посмотрим, если нет воспоминаний с войны, то мы закончим на этом. Вот, оказались, что есть.
We have lost most of Shaughnessy and Dunn's squad. The gunny is dead, first platoon is in worse shape. That medic is either crazy or the bravest man alive.
Can we rally with the first and try for the Nambus?
It's sheer to the left. To the right, it goes right through a pass with two Nambus and enfilade. Mate, we can lose everyone!
Lieutenant! Get back off this fucking bridge! They'll start walking the mortars back to their own positions! We only have minutes! I'm in charge here, Sergeant! Get your men off the bridge, Lieutenant! What's your unit, Sergeant? We don't have time for this, Lieutenant! What's your unit, Sergeant? I company 22nd Marines, Lieutenant, and we just saved your ass by fording the river. My orders are to reconnoiter the... I think that point is now moot! You have 10 men left! My orders are to save what's left! Move out!
Ну, и на этом закончим серию. Спасибо за просмотр. Ставьте лайки и подписывайтесь на канал. Всем удачи и до встречи в следующих видео.